Be too close, I can sit back far away. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Game Dojo. It is October and Halloween season is upon us once again. We are dangerously close to the holiday. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 24K Films, movies, games, TV show reviews. We are here on another October's Eve and we're bringing you, if you could not notice, the picture, Jennifer's Body. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, ladies and jelly spoons, let's get to it. So let's start off, because as always, we are not going to do a verbatim blow by blow. We're just going to give you the gist, and by now, I think this was 2009?
Yes.
2009. You should have checked this out. If you haven't, I am going to recommend that you do it. So right off the bat. So, the story in a nutshell is about, believe it or not, Jennifer's Body. It is a story at its heart of two friends who are growing up, and as one gets into an age of development and boys in life, they start to grow apart just a little bit. But it all unravels one night, out in a bar, seeing a band, partying. And that's where the shit hits the fan. So basically, in a nutshell, a band wants to be more... But you know what? I said I was going to bring this up, so I'll do it. Did you guys ever see the episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where I think it was 6th season? I think it's the 6th or the 7th season. Where
7th.
Was it the 7th?
Yes.
Where a girl, she kept telling Buffy, who was a counselor at the time. Yeah, it had to be 7th season because Buffy was a counselor.
She kept telling
that she was going to die, and Dawn that she was going to die. And they were thinking she was suicidal and everything like this, but they couldn't see that she saw her own death. And basically there was a cult of evil boys who wanted to appease a demon and get riches by sacrificing this virgin on this night so that they could be gods. That's, believe it or not, basically the story of Jennifer's Body. It's just a little bit more well told, and it's not so PG as the Buffy episode. Buffy episode is still good. Go and see it and watch it. Buffy should be on our countdown. Haven't decided whether or not I'm going to do it. I kind of want to, but I don't know just yet. But I digress. Back to Jennifer's Body. So, one night of partying and fun leads to the split of friends where Anita wants to...
Needy.
Yeah, but her name is Anita. Okay? Anita wants to go home and end the night, and Jennifer Check, aka, do I even have to say Megan Fox? You guys know who she is by now. She wants to go and party out with this band. The band has sinister thoughts in mind because they're looking to sacrifice her to their god, and they think she's a virgin. Looking at her, why would you think she's a virgin? I'm sorry, I don't get it, but I digress. Movie's got a movie, yo. So they split up, and she ends up being taken to an area where these guys sacrifice her to appease their demon. Guess what? She's not a virgin. Backfires. Now she's a succubus. Now, I know what you're saying. I would love to see a movie where she goes after the guys who sacrifice her and just take revenge on all these guys. She doesn't per se, but at the end the story has a twist and everything wraps up nicely. So, as she comes back, and of course she comes back wrong, Pet Sematary reference, the real Pet Sematary reference, the original, OG, the best. She comes back and her friend notices strange things with her. At first it's just like small things, little things here and there, her behavior. She starts to dress sexier. She starts to become more of the girls in school that they both hated before this night. And we're treated to what's really going on with Jennifer Check is she's a succubus and she's killing men and piling bodies up. And the story goes forward. I would have liked to them have dipped into a little bit more violence, a little bit more nudity, and a little bit more blood, but there was enough blood to bring us forward. And let's not talk about the elephant in the room. We're not talking about Mario Wonder. Sex. That's what everybody wanted to sign on this movie for. That's what pretty much all the young hearts and minds who wanted to see Jennifer Check get nude. The people behind the camera was treated to that reward, not the people who watched the movie, which kind of sucks. You got to give a thumbs down for that. We wanted nudity, but I digress. It's not always about nudity. No, yes, it is. When it comes to horror movies, there better be nudity, there better be tits, there better be ass, there better be sexual scenes with somebody being spewed. That's horror. But we got some decent horror in this movie. There's a lot of great kills. Some of them are a little bit shied away from. There's a throwing up scene with black blood all over the kitchen floor. That was pretty nasty. Pretty awesome. I would say it ventures into the territory of Evil Dead, the new Evil Dead movies, but it's not as violent. It doesn't go there all the way. Evil Dead movies, you jump in, you know what you signed up for. Boy, you better know what you signed up for. But when it comes to this movie, I would say it's a little bit more tame than Evil Dead. Around the same lines, demons and evil and people being killed. The story comes to a gigantic climax when Jennifer tries to kill Anita, Needy's boyfriend. And that just doesn't hash out. Because Needy likes the guy a lot. Even though he's pretty much want to have sex with her. Pretty much everybody in the movie does. We see it. We know it. It's there. We know where it's going. Believe it or not, her Needy's boyfriend only had eyes for Needy, and then that was it. But that was the point that crossed the line. Yes. Jennifer wanted to kill him. So, as we come to a big culmination fight scene in the end, good versus evil, sister versus sister, basically, it gave me kind of vibes of Ginger Snaps, with the two going against one another when one is changing. It was a very sisterhood driven movie, even though they weren't sisters. Were they sisters? No, right? No, they weren't. They were just best friends. Yeah. It was like a sisterhood. Yeah, so it kind of hits with some Ginger Snap vibes here and there, because the older one gets infected. I mean, if you think about it, it really kind of borders along two of those movies, which I'm pretty sure, did Ginger Snaps come first or after this? Ginger Snaps came first. That one came out in 2001. Okay, so they might have took a little bit of inspiration, which is a good thing. It's not a negative thing, it's a good thing. But as the culmination of this movie hits, we are treated to a succubus destroyed, because I'm not going to give you everything. You have to go and see it if you want to see the full version. But a succubus is destroyed, a friendship is destroyed and dissolved, and the beast has to find another host to go into. So I will give you a little bit of a spoiler alert. If you don't want to know, you can turn away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So spoiler alert, the demon hatches on to Anita, Needy. Which, if memory serves me correctly, she went out and got the band, right? She did. Yeah, so she took revenge on the band. So the band did get their just desserts. It was just at the end of the movie. She went ahead and got her revenge for them taking her best friend away from her and basically destroy. She felt like the band destroyed her life, destroyed the fact that she didn't have her best friend anymore, destroyed the fact that she didn't have her boyfriend anymore, and basically destroyed any chance of her really having true freedom from like anything. And there you go, in a nutshell. So the movie sums up pretty well. Everybody gets their just desserts, but there is room for a sequel. Something that a lot of people, including the Nightmare Creature, who you hear behind you in the game dojo, wanted to see. It hasn't come to light yet. I'm not going to say it hasn't, because sequelitis is done to death in Hollywood. But with the strike and everything going on, the chances are very slim to seeing a part 2. I would love to see where they went with the story. Bring back Megan Fox to reprise a role. Maybe demons don't die as easy. Maybe find some kind of spell or something, or some kind of ritual that can bring her back from the dead. Yeah. So, that's basically Jennifer's Body in a nutshell. A good watch. It's okay. I wanted more nudity for my taste, but I'm a creeper that way, so we'll just let that go. Well, everybody wanted it, including me, so... Okay. I don't feel so bad. Thank you. So, question of the group, of the dojo, in the Gamer Nation. What to give Jennifer's Body? And that is the real question. So, let's start through the scales and lift it up to see how high it goes. So, is this a copper rating? Absolutely not. because it's better than most movies we've seen in the coming years, and definitely one of the better movies of the 2000s.
It wasn't received well when it first came out, and over time, because I think, and a bunch of other people also thought it was ahead of its time, it got itself a cult classic rating around 2016, where people actually really started to dig this movie.
There you go. So it became cult classic, got a cult following, and picked up more. So can it be silver? No. It's definitely better than A Quiet Place 2, and another host of movies in the 2000s. So we have to bump it up to a notch. So now we're sitting at a gold. Gold is a nice, respectable rating here in the Game Dojo. But is it reserved for higher than gold for a platinum rating? Or, as we've done lately, a double platinum? Now, I would love to give this movie a platinum rating, but I have to take away for a few things. One, nudity. I mean, come on, man. It's a horror movie. We need nudity. But I digress. That's not the only reason why I would take apart from it. I wanted to see more of the demon form of who she was, the succubus. I mean, we got treated to Jennifer becoming the demon, and some looks with the eyes and some changing colors, and some really cool kind of forked tongue, and the lighter thing was pretty cool. But
we got treated to 2 scenes of her like that. One, when she was killing her first victim, the first victim we were treated to before we found out she killed somebody else. And then when she was killing Nee's boyfriend. Those are the only 2 times you got to see the succubus in action.
There you go. But I wanted to see more of the monster in a monster movie, and this is a monster movie. Demons have to be shown. That is just a little bit of a lesson. And I know they say less is more, but if you ever see any Argento demon movies, you get what I'm saying when I say go full force. It's a demon. Go full force. Go 100%. Don't hold that shit back. Go! So I gotta pull a little bit on the reins for that. And another thing that kind of, it's not really an irk, but during these times, the influential motion picture scheme were changing. They wanted more female heroines. They wanted more female antagonists, protagonists. So they was pushing a lot. I will say some of the agendas came across in this, not because a succubus is not a cool demon. I mean, it's a demon of sex. But I've also seen a succubus actual movie, and I've also seen Necromantic. I've seen Necromantic. We've all seen Subspecies. We've all seen a bunch of demon movies who aren't afraid to hit that horror button and go all the way. I mean, I'm talking fingernails in the eyes, teeth being pushed out of the mouth. Like, they could have gone deeper with their horror in this. I'm not saying this, I'm not taking away from anything storyline from this movie. I'm just saying, for the rating we were giving, they could have pushed the envelope a lot more. It was really tamed. And I always wanted to see if there was going to be like an unrated, uncut director's cut of this that came out, but sadly that never happened. I mean, they came out with a cut that they said was unrated, but I didn't see too much more in it.
And they cut out a very vital locker scene between Needy and Jennifer. Basically Needy confronting Jennifer about what she thinks she is.
Yeah. So, with taking back those 2 aspects, we're going to have to give it a 24K gold rating, which is not a bad rating in the Game Dojo. It's higher than most films have gotten. And believe it or not, that's a really solid rating here in the Game Dojo. We're going to give it 24K gold. We're going to say 4 ninja stars out of 5 on a ninja scale of awesomeness. She should definitely do more horror, though I don't think it's in her repertoire to do anymore, which is sad, because I felt as though she got into something here and we wanted to see more from her. She could have been a scream queen, something we were looking for. Maybe not so much as the protagonist or the antagonist or even a demon. Maybe she could have just been like the main female heroine. But unfortunately, we weren't treated to any of that. So it's kind of a what could be, and this movie sits in its own self on its own shelf. Definitely recommend you buy it on DVD and Blu-ray, even 4K. though the scenes you really want are not in it, and that's sad. But it's still a really good time. So here in the Game Dojo, Jennifer's Body, 24K gold on the ninja scale of awesomeness. I hope you enjoy my reviews as much as I love reviewing these movies. This movie I wasn't sure if I was going to do, but it deserves it because it's Halloween. And if you're going to have those Halloween parties and you're going to have those Halloween marathons, you got to have your mask killers, you got to have your goblins, your little dolls, your men in the iron mask and hooks. You got to have all that stuff, but you also have to have a demon movie. So there's a few demon movies I can think of that would be good in your movie mashup lineups. Are Dario Argento's Demons 1, Demons 2, Return of the Demons 2. Great movie. Shannon Elizabeth was in the second one, not the Argento version. Jennifer's Body, definitely. And Pumpkinhead. I mean, he classifies as a demon. I mean, yeah, 100% classifies as a demon. But he goes there. There is nothing sexy about Pumpkinhead. Now, I've said it. But Jennifer's Body, it definitely carves out its own niche among horror, and that's pretty damn awesome. It's hard to do, but it's pretty damn awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from the Game Dojo, please check your candy. Don't get too high on all that candy, and remember, stay tuned to the Game Dojo. And if you need some Halloween goodness in the month of October, tune into 24K Reviews, because we hitting it all. We're taking care of it. And thank you guys for giving me so much love and showing support on All of Us Are Dead and Train to Busan. You guys blew those videos up. Thank you very much. And the Meg is still going up, the Meg 2. Thank you guys. I absolutely love you. From the Game Dojo, you see the R, right? That's the rain symbol. Yeah, from the Game Dojo, thank you guys very much. And I'll check you out next time. Stay tuned, because we got a lot more coming for you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We out of here.